Thanks for having me. How are you?
Look, this has been an exciting tournament. We've seen a bevy of goals. And more importantly, I think Africa's really addressed development soccer in many ways.
You know, this tournament, the idea behind it is it's for domestic leagues. And we get to see a lot of players. We got to see a lot of players that we wouldn't ordinarily have seen on the international stage. And I think it delivered on that front. You know, the weirdest thing is that it was, for the longest time, it was called names, castigated, and people were saying, nah, this is a Mickey Mouse tournament and all of that. But I think in hindsight, when you look back at what it's actually achieved, I would say that it did actually manage to get to where it had set out to do, because the crowds did come eventually. Even without Bafana in the tournament, I mean, the people around the country still went to watch the football. And now we know a lot more names than we did. I mean, some teams are even going to sign some players that they didn't even know about before this tournament.
Your overall idea of, before we get into the real final, I just want to get your sense of the tournament, just in general. Did it deliver? I know we had issues around the numbers.
Well, you know what? I think it's a lesson, even for CAF itself, because I think they also needed to have taken their own tournament seriously, because the fact that it took intervention for them to push for this tournament to be regarded as an A-level, the matches that are played in this tournament to be A-level, at the 11th hour for that matter, is something that could have been avoided had they taken it seriously. Because I remember speaking to some of the officials at the South African Football Association, and they were arguing that they were asking CAF, I mean, you expect teams to qualify, you expect teams to come to another country and suspend their leagues, as it happened here to some degree, and yet you actually don't recognize your own tournament. So I think for them, going forward, this tournament has actually set this tournament up. This one that we hosted in South Africa has made sure that the next one that is held is on a better level, is organized better, and is much more highly regarded than the one preceding the one that was here in South Africa.
Your thoughts of the final, Libya up against Ghana? I mean, it finally went into a penalty shootout. Not sure whether people are happy that it went that far. We obviously want to see the game ended in normal time, but it did stretch that far. Your thoughts?
Well, tell you what, these Libyans are very good in the penalties. I mean, this was their third penalty that they've gone through. I mean, that's one thing you'll give to them. I mean, it looks like there was a time when I was watching that shootout, and it looked like even if they were blindfolded with their with their hands tied behind the back, they would still go on to win on penalties. But I think for them, for me, they've been the fairy tale story of the entire tournament, because here's a country that only their league only resumed in September, and before that they had gone on a hiatus of more than 2 years, and their coach has been there for barely a few months. They come here and they go on to win the tournament. So for me, that just proves that even for us, we can't lose hope. It just goes to show if you put your mind to it, you do a lot of work, and you push forward, you can take your football forward. Because here, the Libyans, they're proof for it, they've actually done it.
Was this a final that we expected to see? I don't consider Libya, and with all the experts I've had a chat to, Libya was never part of the final.
No, not at all. I think this is what makes it a fairy tale run as far as they're concerned, because nobody expected them to be there. I mean, the usual suspects would have been the teams that would have been expected to even them winning it for that matter. I remember seeing a lot of posters on Friday. They were all saying Ghana to win, Ghana set to win, and here we are now. They've won, let alone Libya in the final.
So we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining me this morning. That was Time Media Group Chief Sport Writer Mninawa Ntloko helping us review the African Nations Championship, which ended in Cape Town Stadium yesterday.